Hello, my name is Neil Millman. I am a geographer and an expedition leader, but mostly I am a world traveler with 50 years of international travel experience under my belt. I love exploring new places. From the age of 16, I set out to explore this planet. My countless travel experiences have given me a level of expertise that can make travel meaningful for others as well. Perhaps you share my love of travel, but have not had the time or means for getting to the places you always dreamed of going to. My message is primarily to those who love to travel, and more especially to those who want to get off the beaten track. Let's be clear on one thing. Travel is a venture fraught with uncertainty and risk. It often entails considerable expense, and there are no guarantees that a journey will even be satisfying. But meaningful travel provides opportunities not usually found by staying at home. These include deep insights into foreign cultures, history, and learning things firsthand. For me, travel is the best education. Travel is always adventuresome, and it should be a lot of fun. Many tourists, however, are unprepared for their excursions. They are burdened by apprehension, homesickness, and worry. Far too many resources are squandered on journeys that are largely frivolous. It need not be that way. So I wish to share some of my secrets for truly meaningful travel. The first key is attitude. Certainly travel is not for everyone, but those who truly yearn to get away from home should not let unreasonable concerns stand in the way. No journey turns out perfect in every way, nor should a journey be perfect. Travel includes a lot of unpredictability, but the inevitable challenges give each trip its particular charm. What a person brings with him on his journey is himself. If you cannot tolerate vulnerability, or if you feel extreme anxiety in strange places, then you will surely be discontented. But if you can put up with some degree of physical and emotional discomfort, then you will find your travel experiences to be all the more rewarding. A journey is only as good as what you put into it. Mental toughness is essential. Certainly your journey may be marred in some way. Things may not be easy, but what are the bigger experiences that will enrich your mind and soul? What are you willing to sacrifice to have the journey of a lifetime? The second ingredient to meaningful travel is sufficient time. The quality of any travel venture is determined less by how much is seen or done than by the amount of time spent doing it. You've heard of those whirlwind tours. If today is Tuesday, then this must be Denmark. They leave the traveler confused and exhausted. A trip to Paris does not mean a quick photo op at the Eiffel Tower. Getting to know Paris requires at least a week or longer. Travel is not about visiting popular sites. It is about being in a place long enough for it to soak deeply into your consciousness. It means becoming acquainted with the inhabitants and learning about their culture. Just as Rome was not built in a day, so developing the gift of meaningful travel requires an investment of time. I did not travel through 64 countries merely to make a long list of them. For the most part, I spent considerable time in each country, getting to know its cities, its main attractions, and some of its lesser-known characteristics. I've lived in 10 countries, ranging from 2 months up to 5 years. Surely I could have derived more data about those places simply by reading books or searching the internet. But there is no substitute for being in a place. There are sights, sounds, smells, and tastes that no library can convey. Meeting strangers abroad provides a broader understanding as well as appreciation of a place.
This is my beautiful and great city.
But to really know the heart of a place requires adequate time. For the typical American, time is often equated with money. You know the saying, time is money. So who can afford to take more than a few days off from work? This becomes a big excuse for never going anywhere. But there are ways to travel for lengthy periods that do not entail great financial cost. In fact, it is possible to work one's way around the world, as I did by teaching English in various language schools. And there are many other ways in which Americans can capitalize on their talents and expertise. If you can sing or play a musical instrument, then you need never go hungry. Simply perform on street corners. It is called busking. Young travelers from Europe, Australia, and other countries have been doing this for decades. You cannot earn a fortune this way, but it does enable you to encounter a broad diversity of wonderful people and to discover many ways of living cheaply. Who knows? Should you find a place you really love, you may even become an expatriate. The third key to meaningful travel is knowing who you are and what you really want. Money buys luxury, but it does not necessarily purchase meaningful travel. If staying safe and comfortable are of paramount concern to you, then go on a cruise or a lavish expedition where you will be surrounded by others who need to be coddled. This is often the last-ditch resort for older folk who put off traveling until they retire or their kids are grown. Tourists generally have a narrow zone of comfort. When they go abroad, they expect conditions to be as similar as possible to what they are familiar. By not getting off the beaten path, however, they miss most of what a particular place has to offer. For those willing to go beyond what most tours normally provide, there exists an infinite world of possibilities. This requires flexibility and an open-mindedness that the armchair traveler does not have.
Eso, eso, los gringos, sí, sí, los mejores. Eso, bravo, ella, Cuba, vale, están en la tierra de Medellín, de los paisas, los mejores, sí, sí.
Anybody can imagine traveling to exotic locales, but it requires a special talent to actually do so. Glossy travel brochures show tantalizing images, but in reality, travel involves a lot of noise, confusion, delays, tedium, and other unmentioned distractions. You need to put up with lots of nonsense to get to the meaningful stuff. That's why books by travel writers like Paul Theroux are so interesting to read. Years after the fact, you will have cause to laugh at the things that caused you so much grief. Just as no two travelers are exactly alike, so no two journeys are exactly the same. When you know exactly what you're looking for, then you are less likely to be disappointed by artificial expectations. If seeing the world's grand cities is your dream, then spoil yourself a little, but include some time with the natives. If getting into nature is your thing, then don't go with those who need to sleep in fine hotels or eat gourmet meals. And if you are a sports enthusiast, link up with those who share your passion and know how to satisfy your craving for adventure. Any young adult who has not yet become fully immersed in college, marriage, or a career has much to gain from a worthwhile journey. Travel makes for a fuller person. This is especially true when the expedition includes opportunities for service to the disadvantaged. Even so, you may find yourself in the company of others with dissimilar tastes or interests, or people who move at different speeds. If you're willing to make their travel experiences a little more enjoyable, then you will probably find them doing the same for you. Moaning and groaning not only turns you into unpleasant company, but can cast a pall over the entire group. Do your best to be cheerful and upbeat, regardless of the circumstances. And be careful not to allow others to dictate what you do or do not do. Meaningful travel is about having the freedom to find what really matters to each person. Evaluate what the journey does for you. Enjoy every opportunity for learning and for personal development. You may not have another chance for the rare insights the journey provides. The fourth key is finding the right mentor. Meaningful travel is refined through patience, fortitude, and experience. Only a few individuals are exceptional travelers. Rick Steves, of course, is a great example. He is a savvy traveler and an outstanding guide because he mastered the nuts and bolts of discovering new places. His curiosity runs deep. He knows how to turn the unfamiliar into the familiar. That's what makes for a great tour guide or expedition leader. It is someone who knows a place intimately well and who can open up wide vistas of understanding. Perhaps best of all, the competent guide is alive with passion and capable of making learning fun for everybody. Choosing the right expedition or finding the right travel mentor for you requires some preliminary investigation. An expedition leader should deserve your trust and respect. Don't settle for guides with incomprehensible accents or who can turn a tour into a snooze fest. Be prepared to spend a little more if necessary. Be willing to spend as much time as possible doing what makes the trip worthwhile. For a short while, you put your welfare in his hands. Give him every opportunity for making your journey the best it can be. This is Neil Millman, wishing you many happy journeys.